The connector piece causes students quite a bit of trouble, mainly for the sketch. One, it's asking you to generate a reasonably complex sketch, and then it's going to want you to mirror the half and then mirror the half again. People normally, where they go wrong is while they're sketching these lines, they get duplicates, or they get entities that aren't closed. So 2 points that you think are touching are not really. So that's normally where that goes wrong. And so let's get started. I'll show you kind of the places where people typically go wrong, and then we'll see if we can fix those, and then we'll tell you how you can do it if all else fails. All right, so let's go ahead and go over to Inventor. I've cheated a little bit because there's a lot of dimensions there, and I didn't want to spend this entire video drawing it. I went and put this in. Notice I don't have any of the fillets in, but I have all the rough dimensions already there. Now notice I built this, and I didn't build it this way. When I attached it here, I drew it out, and it was attached to the x-axis and the y-axis. And then as I dimensioned it, it moved on me. It's because I didn't have any constraints. It didn't automatically apply any constraints. We have to make certain this point is attached to the y-axis, and we have to make sure that this point is attached to the x-axis. And the best way to do that is to say, you know what? We want to have a horizontal relationship between this point and the origin. Now it's stuck on the x-axis, and I want a vertical relationship between this point and the origin. And so now you'll notice that everything has turned blue and is now fully constrained. And so all I have to go ahead and put in is my fillets. All right, so let's go ahead and click on fillet. I know for the example that this is 0.1, so I'll just put that 0.1, and then I will click that there. And then if I go over, this is 0.05 and this is 0.04. So I'll just 0.05, click that. 0.04, click that. And then now I have that profile drawn out. So all I have to do now is make my axes that I want to mirror this around. And the easiest way to do that is to go ahead and draw the lines in there. So I can pick these lines from here to here, and I can pick from here to here. Now, I don't need those to be object lines. I need those to be hidden lines. So I can just right click and say construction, or sorry, not hidden lines, construction lines. Right click and say construction. And so those will be my axes that I'm going to mirror around. So then now we just go back to the mirror command. All right, it's going to want us to select what we want. We can click and drag, and then it missed that one because I didn't fully cover it up. And then select my mirror line, and I'm going to mirror it this way first. Hit apply, and so now it's drawn that. If it gets really crazy, you can hide all your constraints so they don't get in your way. And then we're going to do that one more time. So we'll go mirror. All right, we're going to select all of our lines. Don't drag down because you're going to grab your mirror line. So just get most of those, and then just go back and pick the two that you didn't fully encompass with your selection, and then say the mirror line. I want to mirror this down. Hit apply, and then you can go back and turn off those again. And so you can see we've drawn the connector, and then we can finish the sketch. We can extrude. I can select my profile, and then it doesn't work. Okay, and you'll notice that, hey, it doesn't want to extrude. If I pick this, all right, it's going to go ahead and make, and you probably can barely see it, it's going to go ahead and make a surface. Notice I have an extrusion surface, and you'll see down here that there is a gap here. Now this is very common for students to have. So let's go ahead, right click, let's delete this, leave the sketch because we want to keep the sketch, and then we'll right click and say edit sketch, and then let's go back in. Okay, so that's the common mistake. That it's not a mistake, I think it's honestly a bug in Inventor. All right, what we can do now is right click here where that error was happening and hit close loop. All right, and it basically says select a curve that is connected to the start end of the open loop. Continue selecting curves until the loop is closed. Press Control and click to clear all selections. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, and then you're going to pick. All right, and this will say a coincident constraint. So there's where we don't have the coincident constraints. Would you like to add it? Yes. All right, and then it's going to say over constrained stretch. And then, yeah, I always want to see that message, and then I had to hit cancel, and then. So there's some bug here, right? This should, all right, and it's the mirror command. So if we want to debug this, you can go in, turn these on, and say, you know what? I know I've mirrored this. It should be fine, but this is not working because of that mirror constraint, and so I can delete those mirror constraints on that point. All right, it just gets to be a giant hassle for you guys. All right, and this is supposed to be practice for mirror. So do this once, okay, and then all I want you to do, okay, let's turn off all of this. All right, and this is how if you ever need to close the loop, all right, this is how you go about and do it. So you hit OK, and then we'll click, and then click, and so we'll go all the way around, and you'll notice that it's going around and picking it. And that's a good way to debug what you're trying to do when you get errors, especially if you have duplicate pieces. But what we're going to do is I want you to go ahead and select all these, delete that, select all this, delete that, delete this one here. All right, delete that one there, delete that one there. And you can see there's something weird going on because now I've lost this dimension. That's supposed to be 320, so I can put that back. All right, here's how I would, because you're going to need this for a later thing, here's what I would do. Just go ahead, turn construction line off on this, and turn construction line off on this, and then go ahead, all right, finish the sketch. This is going to extrude just great. I don't know what the dimension is supposed to be because I forgot to measure it before we started. And then go in and just mirror the features, and so mirror this feature around this plane and hit OK, and then go ahead and mirror again. We're going to mirror both these features, all right, around this plane, and then that way you get the connector all done. Okay.